Here is 5 ways to vary a stroke when hatching. Number 1 is size, and the only thing you change here is the size of the lines. Number 2, spacing, gradually increasing the space in between the lines. Number 3, layers, by drawing the same type of lines on top of each other. Number 4, changing the directions of the lines. Number 5, weights. This is the mass and the volume of the line. Stay tuned for the next video if you want to know how to use these principles for hatching. 10 ways to hatching. How to draw patterns. How to draw textures. How to draw effects. Drawing textures around 3D forms. What is one-point perspective? First, you want to draw a horizon line. This is where the vanishing point will lie. All you need to do here is connect the dots where things are again further away. Now, one-point perspective is not as versatile as 2, 3, or 5-point perspective, but it's good when it comes to something like looking through a city. What is 2-point perspective? In 1 point, you have 1 vanishing point, and 2 point, you have 2 vanishing point. Here's a quick example of how I broke down the perspective of this photo. As you can see here, different objects will have different vanishing points due to the angle they are sitting at, and some can even be off the page. I would highly recommend practicing perspective drawing using cubes. This will help you get a better understanding of space within your drawings. For me, it definitely helped me get better at drawing from life and from photos. Drawing 2-point perspective is easy. Draw a horizon line and pick 2 vanishing points. Using a pencil, lightly draw the guidelines. And now all you have to do is connect to the vanishing points. 2-point perspective is great when looking at objects at an angle. Drawing with 3-point perspective is easy. Draw a horizon line with 2 vanishing points. Draw another perpendicular line with the 3rd vanishing point. Lightly draw the guidelines with a pencil from the vanishing points. Now all you have to do is connect the vanishing points. 3-point perspective is great for looking at objects from above or below, up close. How to draw shoes. Break down into simple shapes. Draw contour lines to help you understand 3D form. And now just draw in the details by following the perspective of the shapes. This is how you draw in 5-point perspective. Draw a horizontal line and a vertical line through the center. The vanishing point of the vertical line and horizontal line should be equal. You can now draw the guidelines by connecting the vanishing points. And your 5th vanishing point will be in the center. You can practice this by using boxes at first. This is a really fun perspective to use for POV drawings. You need to know how to do this if you want to learn how to draw from imagination. Yes, I'm talking about box rotations. This is actually a really simple exercise, but most people get it wrong. Try it for yourself. Here's a quick demonstration of how I practice box rotation exercises. The main goal here is to try to achieve the illusion of space, which is what most of us are trying to achieve when we draw. Try it for yourself and go ham. This is how pro artists see shapes. This is not a square, it's a cube. This is not a rectangle, it's a cylinder. This is not a triangle, it's a cone. This is also not a triangle, it's a prism. This is not a circle, it's a sphere. If you know how to do box rotation, you should try this. It's a good exercise to practice your spatial awareness and perspective drawing. If you have trouble at first, try drawing the horizon line and grid lines. Once you get comfortable, try do it without grid lines and try construct a scene with it. Please give it a try and tell me what you think. Here's a quick tip on how to judge people's height in perspective. Let's say the eye level is 180 centimeters, so any figures that meets the eye level will be 180 centimeters. Now let's say that I want to draw a figure that is 360 centimeters tall. Knowing that my eye level is 180 centimeters tall, I can just double it. Hopefully based on this understanding, you know how to draw figures in any height. Here's a quick drawing exercise to practice your visual memory. Draw whichever shape you like and try draw the silhouette afterwards. If you want to make this harder, only draw the silhouette. I usually do this as a warm-up before I start drawing from imagination. Here's a quick exercise to help improve your spatial awareness. This involves drawing lots of ribbons with missing parts in perspective. This exercise may seem simple, but it starts to get tricky once you start turning and twisting. With this exercise, you want to get to the point where you don't have to think and it becomes natural. Turning 2D shapes into 3D shapes with contour lines. This is a good exercise to train your brain to see 2D shape in 3D. Even with the same 2D shape, you can change how the 3D shape look with just contour lines. Overlapping shapes. This will help you to understand how different shapes interact with each other. By practicing these overlapping forms, you will have a better understanding of the overall 3D form. It could be a good warm-up session before drawing from imagination. You can make this harder by practicing with a pen and without a pre-sketch. Overlapping shapes. This will help you to understand how different shapes interact with each other. By practicing these overlapping forms, you will have a better understanding of the overall 3D form. It could be a good warm-up session before drawing from imagination. You can make this harder by practicing with a pen and without a pre-sketch. Do you want to learn how to draw from imagination? Well, you came to the right place. Because in this exercise, I will show you the power of contour lines. What you want to do first is draw a random silhouette shape, and in your own imagination, try to turn that 2D silhouette into a 3D shape by wrapping contour lines around it. This will train your brain to think in 3-dimensional forms. Also, if your drawings looks flat, this exercise will also help add depth into your drawings. This exercise might come easier to you if you've done 3D modeling before. You could think of contour lines as topology, using 2D planes to form a 3D illusion of a 2D surface. I hope you give this a go and test your imagination. Here's a quick demonstration of how to practice cylinder rotation in space. Besides rotation, attempt to add, subtract and intersect with other shapes to build your understanding of the 3D form. This is crucial in developing your fundamentals for drawing in imagination. Try and doing this 10 minutes a day to see yourself becoming more efficient at decision making and making your drawings feel dynamic. If I were to only recommend one drawing exercise, this would be it. Yes, that's right. I'm talking about the box rotations. Either you like it or don't. And I think I speak for most of us that the exercise is extremely boring. I mean, you just draw cubes in different angles and that's it. But by doing this extremely repetitive, excruciating exercise, it's not for nothing. In fact, it's one of the best value in return of your time. There are so many benefits of this exercise, like spatial awareness, training your mind to draw and see in 3D on a 2-dimensional surface. For example, I used to draw the head only from the front looking view. If I tried to draw in other angles, I would struggle and not know where the facial features go. But now it's a lot easier, because when you realize all objects can fit into a cube, you can start to simplify these forms to fit in them. But remember, this is not an exercise to do in one single session, just to forget it. It's about repetitive practice, in a long period of time, but don't overdo it. 5 to 10 minutes a day is more than enough. Personally, I only do 5 minutes a day as part of my 50 minutes drawing exercise. Today I'm going to show you the benefits of practicing mannequin drawing without references. When you stop relying on references, you start to understand the human body instead of just copying it. It forces you to think about structure, proportion and 3-dimensional form of the human body from memory. At first it might feel difficult, but this is what builds real understanding. You'll start to notice improvement in how you construct poses and imagine figures from different angles. So use references to learn, but also practice without them to strengthen your imagination and visual memory. You can start by doing 2 poses a day, 5 minutes each. If you want to get better at painting, this is one of the best exercises to help you get there. I'm talking about 2 value studies. The purpose of this exercise is to help you break down references into a simpler value structure, to improve your value identification. You can use different types of shades, but keep them in contrast with each other for the best results. It's best to use a pen for the exercise that can apply a lot of ink easily for strong bold shapes. Please give this a shot and tell me how it goes. Level 1. Draw a dot in the middle, draw a line right through it. Repeat this in every angle. Increase the distance of the lines at each level. Don't constrain yourself from drawing left to right. Train your weak side to become more flexible and a better artist. Let's draw a camera the simple way. A camera can be easily broken down into two simple shapes, a cube and a cylinder. I will draw the camera by just using these two shapes. The details here is not important. It's about capturing the essence of the object. Try this method the next time you learn how to draw something new. Stop drawing these boring skulls with the same ratio and try doing this. Loosen up and try draw different skulls with different shapes. Cylindrical, triangles or rectangles, whatever you like. Go ham with it. Don't stop there though and try draw faces on top of it. This should be a lot easier now that you have the underlying structure. You want to draw dynamic poses, but your mannequin look like this. There's a few things I like to think about when drawing dynamic poses. 1. Flow. 2. Line of action. 3. Exaggeration. But the most important one of all is intuition, and that only matures through practice. Can I learn to draw this in just 10 seconds? Most artists use references when they draw, but I like challenging myself and drawing from memory instead. When I try to recreate something I just saw, there are 3 things I like to keep in mind. First, shape. How did it feel in my hands? What parts were thicker, thinner, or more tapered? Second, material. Was it rubber for grip? Matte plastic? Third, function. What is this object actually used for? What do the triggers do? Because if you understand something, you don't just draw it, you rebuild it from memory. And finally, does this look right? Does your hand cramp up when you draw? The problem isn't your pen or your hand, it's how you hold it. When you hold your pen close to the tip, you restrain yourself to a limited area of drawing surface, and your hand becomes very tense. Artists often hold their pen like this for detail work, but for long drawing sessions it's not ideal. Whereas if you hold your pen closer to the middle, it feels more relaxed with greater reach, and it can also give you looser lines when drawing. You just learn how to draw a simple head, but faces still feel hard. First thing to know, faces are not perfectly even, and if they are, they might be a demon. Before drawing facial features, learn the skull from different angles. The skull is the base that holds the face together. Focus on the brow ridge, nose bone, cheekbones and jawline. These parts help show the shape of the head. Once you understand these forms, drawing faces get much easier. And if you're still struggling, take it one step at a time like I did here. Can you merge these shapes together? Think about it, what it looks like in your head. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm trying a new format today, a time duration drawing challenge. I don't know why my first thought was samurai, but I guess that's what we're doing today. If you like to see me draw something else, comment down below. Give me some suggestions if you like. Bye bye.
Like sometimes I just want to draw without overthinking it. Why can't I just draw like normal people?